Dear beloved Mother Earth, we are here with you. When we say we are speaking of the third dimensional humans. And we are also speaking not just for our third dimensional human, but for our fourth dimensional human, our fifth dimensional human, and as high as the frequency rate as our grounded third dimensional self can have an interface with. And this is what is so important within this now. The grounded ones, which is what we, the Galactics, call the humans on Earth, who are parts of our memory and parts of our family. They are us and we are you. And we, from our ships in outer space, can see that there are quite a few challenges happening on your third dimensional planet. And we want to say to all of you, you are not alone. You can call to us, who, in most cases, is your own higher dimensional self, and get the information that you need to allow yourself to just keep on keeping on and moving through these challenging times with courage and confidence and connection with each other and with your own higher self and with others' higher selves and with the galactic beings who are around planet Earth now more than ever, because they see that the beings on Earth, the humans mostly on Earth, are having some big challenges, and those big challenges make it difficult for the planet. We would like to now have a little meditation for the Mother. And when we say Mother, we mean Mother Earth. So we ask that you all just find yourself in a relaxing place and position. And it's always helpful to have your feet on the ground so that you can ground this effort, and have your spinal column be straight up and down, because what will be occurring is you will be pulling in the higher dimensional frequencies and pulling those frequencies into your crown chakra, past your third eye, down into your throat chakra, down into your heart chakra, and down into your stomach area and your lower stomach area, and down your legs and past your knees, and down into your feet, and down deep, deep, deep into the core of Gaia. And in this manner, this exercise will allow you to connect with your own higher dimensional self that is likely in one of those wonderful starships that are moving around planet Gaia, and take that energy and bring it down through your own physical body and down, down, down into the core of Gaia's central Earth. And there is a whole reality that is within the core of Gaia's central Earth. And you will be able to relax into the knowing that you are protected deeply within, while you are also deeply protected from far, far above. Feel, how did you experience going up, going down, expanding your awareness of reality and grounding that awareness in your physical body, and then going down into the core of the planet and ground it in the core of Gaia. And as you are in the core of Gaia, feel how you are Gaia. You are a member of the planet, just like the birds and the animals and the insects and all of the people, and it's all connected. It's all connected. And within your now, it may appear that many things are separated or confused or lost, or this is the time, this is the now, for all of you to remember that you are all higher dimensional beings. And you have chosen to take a third dimensional body during this time, this now, of great planetary and interplanetary changes. Now, take a moment and feel the galactic beings. Now, one thing that could be a benefit of all the lockdown that everybody's in the isolation, is that within that isolation from people external to you, you feel this larger, greater, stronger urge to connect with this part of you that is within the core of you, and connecting to the core of the planet, and connecting to the many starships that are in the sky, that are assisting Gaia through this time of great change. And change very often has to go through the darkest night to move into that bright dawning of the beginning of the ending of that which is over, and the opening and embracing of the higher frequencies that were always there, but we forgot. When we say we forgot, we mean the we that are the humans, for the humans are also the galactics, because that is just the higher dimensional frequency of your third dimensional self. And in the midst of the daily life of one's third dimensional self, our wonderful beings, humanoids that have chosen to take an earth vessel in this time, they have the challenges of being on a third dimensional planet, and the challenge to remember that's not the only place that you are. That is the place where your physical body is. But you have much more than a physical body. You have an etheric body, you have a fourth dimensional creative body, you have a fifth dimensional interaction with starships, etc. body, and on and on. There are so many different higher dimensional versions of yourself. And those who wish to have power over want you all to forget that you have what the lost ones don't have. You have the ability to move into these higher frequencies of your own self, and you have the ability to communicate with the starships, and you have the ability to even communicate with other planets. Now, of course, it will be a different kind of communication than when you pick up the phone and talk to a friend. But each of you will find the way in which you do it, because there is no right way and there is no wrong way. It's about finding your own way. It would begin with remembering how to meditate. And we say remembering instead of learning because there is no right way to meditate or any wrong way to do it. It's really your way. And so when you think in terms of remembering your higher self, you let go of how all the shoulds and coulds and can't and will and want tos. You let go of all of those components of that third dimensional challenge that you're having within this now. And we, the Galactics, know and are fully aware of the great challenge that you are having. And so therefore, we are saying your connection with the higher beings is what will allow all of your memories to begin to come in, And when a memory comes in, like maybe a short memory of, wow, was that a starship I dreamt about? No, that couldn't be. Well, maybe it was. And look at that thing in the sky. It looks like a cloud, but I don't know. It looks like it might be more than a cloud. What would you say about that, Danny? How are ways that you allow yourself to go into this multidimensional part of yourself?
We remember not just mentally, like different things, but we also remember using our feelings, using our emotions. There is that other component of memory that happens beyond our minds. And so when we get into these higher frequencies, we may find that when we do remember, it might not be just an event or just an image that we see in our minds, but we can also remember that feeling.
Yes, and it is living in the connection. You know, it's not above the connection or below the connection. It's merging with. And when you merge with something, you live in it and it lives in you. And that is the example of yours, higher dimensional self. And this higher dimensional self is always there. It's always there. And sometimes it's easy to forget about it. And sometimes it's easy to think that maybe you don't deserve it. But everybody, it's not about deserving. It's just that it is. It just is. Like you don't, deserve to walk, on the grass or whatever. Yes, no, it's there. You are there. And there is that part of you. And when the Arcturians first came to me, they told me to put aside a cast in steel time and place. And I would go to that place at that time and meditate. They also told me to write out my life. And that was also a very interesting experience. And I just started for the earliest thing that I could remember, and I just wrote all the way up to where I was then. And it's surprising how many things we forget because we get attached to this or that or the other. But when you put that intention of writing out your life, then you put your attention on who you were before, who you were in between, who you are now, and then that leads you to who will you be from here on.
Something that came into my mind as you were talking about that is what we were talking about at the very beginning, the fact that we are here on Earth now. And it's almost the same thing. Instead of a moment, this is a lifetime. And so we created this life in time, in space, to be here to bring in those higher energy fields. And that's what we're building. We're constantly building a more expanded energy field. And the same thing with writing out our lives. When we get into that multi-dimensional aspect of ourselves and we get to see, like what you were saying, what came before, who we are now, and how interconnected we really are, then we start to view this physical experience, this physical journey, as another big chapter in this storybook of our multidimensional selves. And I don't know why, but there's something that's just really special to me about that.
Yes. Being here, that it's intentional. It is intentional. And we all know, just with our daily life, if we say, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll do that soon. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do that, but I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, no, those things don't get done. The thing that gets done is the thing that you say, all right, this is it. I'm doing it right now. Right now, I'm doing it. And then when you keep your word and you actually do it right now, it's so easy, so fast, so quick. And it's like, wow, phew, wow, that feels really good. Why don't I always do that? Why don't I just do it instead of thinking about maybe I will do it or I should do it or I could do it, to just get up and do it. And there are many things now that it appears in our reality that we cannot do. It appears that this reality is very limited. People are, staying inside their homes. People are, there's all this version of separation. You have to stay inside your house. You can't do this, and you have to wear a mask, and you can't talk to strangers, and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Fear, 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 fear. And it's not that, no, you should be uncareful. No, absolutely. It is important to be careful because this is the now that is occurring. Fear is always humanity's worst enemy. And so if instead of allowing ourselves to go into fear, allow ourselves, yourself, everyone's self, to know that this is a very important now. And in this now, we don't know why this is happening. We don't even know all that is happening. But we do know that there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. And we have leaders that we're not really feeling like we want to really trust. And that could be scary too. And so what happens is that we are called upon to be our own leaders. We are called upon to go into our own higher dimensional self. Put aside time to find out about meditating, or if you already know about meditating, put aside that time. And meditating is not a big fancy right, wrong way to do it. Meditating is that you just go into a space where first you are talking to yourself, and you and yourself are having a conversation. And because you are awakened, you know that you are also being called to assist Gaia during this time of great transmutation. Call to Gaia and go to the center of the earth, or whatever it is that you feel that you need to do, to say, Gaia, I'm here, I'm with you. I am on your team and we're going to fix this. And then, of course, there's going up into your higher dimensional self, going up into your galactic self. Anyone who would be interested in any of this kinds of information enough to listen through it all, they have a connection with their galactic self. And just because your third dimensional self isn't aware of that connection, that doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that you have not yet become aware. And the more you allow yourself to believe that it's a possibility, the easier it is for you to become aware of that. there is a fear invasion. And the biggest challenge that humanity has within this now is to refuse not to participate in the fear. Remember who you really are. Take this time of deep inter-reflection where we are in one place, where we are most of the time. And if you go outside, this scary thing might happen, that scary thing might happen, etc., etc. But we refuse to participate in that. We refuse to participate in fear. However, we will go inside of ourselves and we will determine exactly what can we do within this now. Now you have time. You have time to be artistic. You have time to be creative. You have time to talk to friends. This is important because within this time, we are building new Earth.